Hello and welcome to Let's Play Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. I am Wisemimir. I'm playing this blind, and last episode we ended the case. This episode we're going to start on case 3 after this post-case thing, because yeah. I forgot that the last case also had an after end segment. So, let's get into the text, shall we? Man, Steelwind has been talking with the perp for hours. What's there even to ask at this point? Turns out she doesn't trust his testimony. Something about his memory is not matching up with the crime scene. You don't think he has mage plight, does he? No, it's not that. She found that damn symbol etched into his desk. Or, what did she call it? The purple mark. Oh, for the love of... Not this again. Look, if the lady wants to chase boogeymen... If the lady wants to chase the boogeyman, that's, just a letter. Right, I was gonna say that's her prerogative, but that's not what he was saying. Not the words he was using, anyway. At least this time, she's doing it personally instead of dragging us into it. Cast sleep. Oh, I knew it. I knew Eris was the big bad. Yeah, she had it written all over her after we saw her at the end of the last case. Yeah. What's up with... And he falls asleep too. Who did this to your desk? What has gotten into you? I've already admitted to everything. What more could you possibly want from me? Where did this graffiti come from? What is this symbol? What is the purple mark? I don't know. A student must have done it at some point. Think very hard, Headmaster. When did you receive this purple symbol? Focus on the moment you received it. Wait a minute. I remember it now. But how? Lady Steelwind? Lady Steelwind! Arya, what happened? Are you okay? That was close. My elation over meeting him almost made me forget. Eris, what are you doing here? Well, why? Wait, I remember now. It was you. You put those ideas into my mind. You're the one who told me to murder Bellwether. Oh, you humans never fail to amuse me. I didn't make you do anything. Everything you did that day, all the planning, all the preparation, that came from your own mind. And I have to say, I was quite entertained with the scheme you came up with. Why, you even broke into Miriam's room. I didn't know you had it in you, old man. You made me forget about our conversation, but how? Illusions can't affect the mind. Magic can't affect the mind. It's a shame, though. I would have much rather turned Wallace into the antagonist of this chapter. Yep, she is definitely medium aware. And that's concerning. Is she an elder god? Is that what we're dealing with here? She's definitely the big bad. Could you imagine if he turned? It would have been spectacular. Armies of the undead, running rampant in the streets. But alas, even I couldn't corrupt his pure soul. Answer me. Who are you? What are you? Who am I? I'm the Lord of the Sixth Circle. Ooh, we're dealing with a demon. Or a devil. Ah. Okay. Now, let us... I can't load the game because that's just gonna take us back to where we were. So, there are 5 cases. We've made it through 2, and we're starting the 3rd. Let's go! I'm sorry, Tyrion. There were so many things that I wanted to tell you. So many things I wanted to show you. But I'm afraid I can't do that now. I need you to be strong now. This world is bleak, merciless, and unforgiving. But I've seen you. I know how bright the light within you is. Use my eyes. Peer beyond the divine gate as I once did. Use it to reclaim the future. Episode 3. The Origins of Horus. Preposterous. Completely and utterly preposterous. Is something wrong, Lord Von Sanctus? You filthy rat, you cheated, didn't you? That's right, you're a cheat. You're just a cheat and a charlatan. Name, Lloyd Von Sanctus. Occupation, nobleman. I mean jerk. I mean nobleman. Do you have any evidence to prove that ridiculous claim? I mastered chess before you could crawl out of whatever rat hole you came from. Do you honestly expect anyone to believe that you could defeat me? Honestly, I'm just as disappointed as you are. I was expecting more of a challenge from House Von Sanctus. But I suppose all the gold in the world can't buy you a modicum of skill. You little upstart, ahem. Von Sanctus's acquaintance clears his throat and gestures subtly to the crowd of spectators. Everyone's attention is on him, and you can see the crowd muttering amongst themselves. His undignified behavior probably isn't doing any favors for his public image. Realizing himself, he tries to regain his composure. It is preposterous. He walks away, muttering the word preposterous under his breath a few more times. It sounds like he's trying to reassure himself more than anyone else. So, that was something. Yeah, I knew he'd get angry, but I didn't expect him to make a scene like that. Well, you did insult him. Not to say he didn't deserve it. Come on. I love seeing those conceited nobles lose their minds when I beat them. It's half the fun of playing in these tournaments. Wow. Where's this confidence when we're in the courthouse? Court cases are different. I have to deal with real-world elements during a trial, and that includes Prosecutor Steelwind. Prosecutor Steelwind, huh? I wonder if she plays chess. Now there's a thought. You wonder if she'd be willing to play against you sometime. She can't be any worse than these pampered nobles. Anyways, we should celebrate somewhere in town. Even if he was a pushover, you just beat one of the top ranked chess players in the kingdom. To be honest, you had your reservations about returning to the city of... I'm going to butcher this terribly. Oranax? If you weren't facing one of the four pillars, you would never have come back here. You'd rather leave this city as soon as possible. Oh, I think Tyrion grew up here. I saw a cafe while we were walking around. The food smelled great. I'd really like to go there. We could always go to one of the cafes in the capital. There are plenty of places to choose from there. Trust me, I've traveled around the world. There's nothing better than food from a thriving port city. Alright, I suppose there's no harm in staying a little longer. She does have a point. The city streets seem livelier than when you last saw them. You see a lot of businesses that weren't here before, and they all seem to be very well off. Despite being a port city, Oranax used to look like a ghost town. Has the local nobility been investing in the city? You find that possibility very hard to believe. You arrive at the cafe Celeste told you about. As you enter, you're struck by a powerful aroma of freshly baked pastries and coffee. The scent of the baked goods swirls around you. You take a moment to inhale the enticing smells. You have to admit that it's making you very hungry. So, you seek to enter the domain of the Deathbringer songstress. Well, if glory is what you seek, then look no further. For you stand before Mosorica Tudor, Dark Lord of Oranax. Oh god, just what we needed right now. Frickin' nerd. Like I have any room to call anyone that. I know what I am. Nerds recognize their own. As you head further into the cafe, you're approached by a familiar face. Mazurka Tudor. Occupation, merchant. Rika, is that you? Ha! It appears that my reputation precedes me. How good of you to... Wait, you're... Tyrion? You're back! Hi. You... Why didn't you tell anyone you were back in town? Do you have any idea how worried we've all been? Her expressions are great. Love the outfit, too. Just the goofy hat. So good. Do you two know each other? Right, Celeste, this is Mazurka Tudor. I was friends with her when I lived here many years ago. Wait, you used to live here? Yeah. Oranax is actually the town I grew up in. I guess I told it. What? But you were in such a hurry to leave before. You came here to eat, right? If you're still hungry, I can bring you some of our best dishes on the house. No, I couldn't possibly. Come on, don't be like that. It's been years since I've seen you. And you know how good my food is. Okay, but only for a little while. Rika sets a table for the three of you and calls over a waiter. Yeah, given that's how they're shortening the name, I think I'll just call her Rika from here on. You all place your orders. Now tell me everything. I want to know all about what you've been doing since you left. Can I finally present the attorney's runestone? What do you think about this, Rika? Speaking about such things would be beneath me. In other words, she has nothing to say about it. I wonder, is she a noble or is she just playing pretend here? Because if she's role-playing, the hat expresses itself. The hat has expressions. My god. The hat's magic. I love it. So, are you going to introduce us? Right. This is Celeste McCoy. She's my bodyguard. Bodyguard? And Celeste, this is... as if I need such introductions. I am Mazurka Tudor, Dark Lord of Oranax, High Archmagi of the Cadmium Flames, and the proud proprietor of this cafe. Aw, you're not continuing with the alliteration? Aw, come on. Oh, okay. I was friends with her when I used to live here. She's a little eccentric. Nice way of saying she's a nerd, but okay. But she's a good person at heart. Hey! And she's also a common folk mage like you. Ah, so you came from humble beginnings, from the same humble beginnings that I do. Which spells have you mastered? I haven't really mastered any of them. I know about 7 spells though. So 7? That's almost 4 times the amount that I know. She's learned even more spells. She's been picking them up rather quickly. I've been usurped. That's funny. Look at you, Mr. Big Shot. You're wearing a suit now. And you even have a bodyguard. Did you get an office job in the big city? Something like that. I'm a defense attorney now. A defense attorney? I see. Is that why you left town with that scary lady? Scary lady? Are you talking about Ruby? Miss Tamura adopted me when my mother passed several years ago. After that, she began training me to become an attorney like her. Wait, you've been studying to be an attorney since you were a kid? Well, I guess that's why you're so young for a lawyer, said the 19-year-old mercenary. Yeah, I guess you've got me there. Are you the owner of this cafe, Rika? You always spoke about opening one when we were kids. Yep, and it's all thanks to the Dracogen Trading Company. The company's owner invested in my business idea after trying my food. Because of him, I was able to open up here, just like I've always dreamed. Dracogen Trading Company. I don't think I've heard of them. They're pretty small right now, and they're only operating in Oranax. But I hear they're planning to expand their operations throughout Wyverngard. But I would have thought that Lord Von Sanctus would have waited out any competition. After all, he owns one of the largest businesses in the kingdom. Lord Von Sanctus? Isn't he that pompous noble I beat in the chess tournament this morning? Wait, that was you? I didn't even know he was a businessman. Von Sanctus Industries invented those arcane constructs we saw at the Imperial Academy. How do you not know about these things? You practically fight against nobles for a living. Maybe you should start reading more about national politics. Is it just me, or does this city look less depressing than before? Oh, right, you left the city before the new merchants appeared. New merchants? Like from a merchant's guild? Yeah, the Dracogen Trading Company was one of the first ones. They started operating here and bought the Arcane refinery a few years ago. After that, the merchants sold from all over Wyverngard started coming here. Well, being based in a port city would definitely give them an edge. And their presence has really helped the city's economy. They aren't even owned by the nobility, and they pay their employers. Whoops. They pay their employees a lot more than Von Sanctus does. It's really improved the quality of life for the people here. I doubt Von Sanctus appreciates the competition, though. There's even talk about forming employee-run unions. Yes, unionize. Do it. Oh, Von Sanctus definitely won't appreciate that. I mean, Lord Von Sanctus is an asshole, so it's fine. So, you still play chess? Yeah, I'm nationally ranked, too. I heard that an upstart commoner defeated Lord Von Sanctus at a tournament this morning, but I had no idea they were talking about you. Upstart commoner. I can't do that noise. The name suits you, Tyrion. Hey, do you still do that thing when you play? No? What thing? Nothing, she's not talking about anything. Wait, you're actually embarrassed about it? When we were kids, you did it even more than I did. What did he used to do? Why don't you show her, Tyrion? I'd rather not. Come on, show us, Tyrion. Do I... he really doesn't want to, but... Actually, let's take a look around first. This table looks really well made. You like it? I commissioned it from a local carpenter. It was probably worth it. They fit with the humble and rustic vibe you're going for here. Okay, maybe looking around is not the best idea. There's no crime, nothing to get but flavor text. I think I'm a little too old for this. You're never too old to tap into your inner Shuni, right? Word that does not translate into English very easily. I guess the closest equivalent is LARPer? Do it, Tyrion. Yeah, do it. The two of them begin chanting, trying to pressure you. Oh god. We're doing the Owain thing from Fire Emblem Awakening. A game I definitely have to let's play if I find the ability to. The two of them begin chanting, trying to... Right, read that. It draws the attention of the other patrons in the cafe. They don't seem to care about the confused looks that they're getting. It seems you don't have a choice. You take in a deep breath. Those who stand in the shadows. Those who fear the light of divinity. Your Imperials will fall, your armies will perish. Kneel and cower before the divine gaze of the Eye of Horus. And she's laughing. They're both laughing. They're both trying their hardest to contain their laughter. Well, that's why I don't do it anymore. No, that was great. It was really cool, Tyrion. No, it wasn't. It was the most edgelord thing imaginable. Her pearly contained laughs are coming out between each word. Much like mine. I can relate. It's relatable. And why are you laughing? You were doing it just a moment ago. Yeah, but she owns it. Yeah. You used to say something else before, too. I won't let anyone stand in my way, even if they're a man, king, or god. Yeah, that's it. He still says that sometimes. Oh, looks like our order is here. A waiter brings in the lunch special for each of you. The enticing aroma makes you salivate a little. You gladly devour the meal. Rika's cooking is just as delicious as you remembered. How did she cook it from here? Oh, well, guess we'll find out next time, if ever, on Let's Play a Tyrion a Tyrion. The fuck am I doing? Combining the word attorney with Tyrion, that's what I'm doing. Next time on Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. We're going to continue in this case and hopefully get to the start of the murder, whatever the murder is. See you then. Also, please leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe if you could. Would really help out. Right. Now, see you then.